Hello, it's Kiki, and welcome to Air Dry Clay. I bought this a little while ago with the intent on attempting to use it. By a little while ago, I mean last year. And I never got around to using it. Of course, now is probably not the best time to be attempting to use it, but I figure I can at least do little small, kind of experimental things. So I just have these two, which are just two different colors. And then I got this, which is, I guess, air dry clay that's flexible, from what I'm understanding. I mean, it says when it's dried it can bend and twist, so we'll find out. We're gonna play around a little bit. And ooh, I got the hiccups. And just make some small little things that don't require too much movement of my, whatever this thing's called, wrist. And this intro sucks, and I'm gonna stop talking now. So I decided to start with the flour clay. It had an interesting smell and feel. I'm not entirely sure how to describe either of them. It stuck very badly to the silicone mat I had down, so I ended up working on top of my tool case. And it was big enough for what I was doing and worked fairly well. I figure since it's called flour clay, making flowers was something that I should try, so I did two different techniques to make flowers. I like the second one better. The first one's a little awkward, I guess. But it was around this spot that I realized you can't do a lot at once. You have to do like just little bits and add to what you're doing. Because as I was like flattening these out into the petal shapes and stuff, like they were already starting to dry out and get hard to work with. Like this stuff dries fast. I did try to get some water, but it really just kind of made it weirdly sticky. It didn't really help keep it workable. So I did kind of use it, but I didn't use it. But yeah, I don't really work with air dry clay. I don't have much experience with it, so that could also be, I don't know what I'm doing, straight up. But yeah, I figure, two of the simpler things that I could make to test the flexibility of it and the durability of it was, one, the flour, and then also little koi fish, because fishies can bend and move and such. I do like how the fish turned out. Just because of how fast it does dry, it was a little hard to blend the fins in, and I didn't want to try the water on it just because I didn't want it to end up getting sticky and stick to my fingers and such like that. But I did like it. I did not like this. This smelt and felt like Mars putty. A little more solid, but not by much. Like, if you watch closely, you can actually see it lose shape as I work on it. Like, it's constantly deflating and just wrinkling, and it was just bad. It was terrible. I did not have fun working with it. I didn't like it. I don't know if I just didn't work it enough, or if it was just, I'll say a little bit later, I don't know if it's maybe a bad batch, but it was not pleasant to work with. I didn't necessarily like the feel of it. Like I said, the smell was a bit weird. I was attempting to make the dooku tree, and it kept
deflating. He kept like shrinking in size. It was just not good.
I kind of knew already while I was working on it, but I don't like the gray clay. He was about that tall. When I stopped working on him yesterday, he melted. I don't know if just the batch that I have is bad or if that's just how this clay is, but I'm not at all sure how they managed to get something like that, considering this does not hold its shape. At least not the batch that I have. So like I said, I don't know if it's just this batch of clay that I got is just worthless or what, but I don't like the gray clay, and I'm actually hesitant to use this one because through the bag it feels pretty similar and it's the same brand, but we're gonna try it anyway. So yeah, let's open this one up.
The flesh color was not any better than the grayish brown. It had the same feel, it had the same smell, it deflated just as much. Like I was trying to make like a little Nomi guy to hold my flower, and he just like with the tree, he just would deflate, and it was so annoying. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll do something that's not, you know, tall. I'll try and make a cat. And it's like every time I tried to, you know, make an adjustment or fix it, like I tried water, and it got wrinklier and wrinklier, and it was just terrible to work with. I'm like, okay, well, I'll try something even flatter. So I tried to just like make like a cat or face, like a plaque kind of a thing. And at first it was okay, this could work. And then the more, like, you know, like the nose there looks pretty good, but once I tried to get like the eyes on, and it was not good. It started to, like, it was hardening, but it wasn't hardening. And it was highly annoying. And it's just, you can see it getting more and more wrinkly as I go, and I just got annoyed and kind of squished the whole thing together, and yeah, it wasn't good. And then I did that. I don't know, at that point I was just kind of done with it. It wasn't good.
Well, that was an experience, an irritating one. So the flower clay isn't too bad. It is bendable, like it says it is. I mean, I don't know if I'd try to twist it 360 degrees like it claims it can, but it is bendable. Fishy. It's pretty flexy. The gray clay sucks. It's just smushed. Poor Deku Tree. And then this wasn't much better. Again, I don't know if I just got bad batches of these two, or if that's just how the clay is, but that is, it just deflates as you use it. No. I mean, the fact that that's all I can get and it's smushing. But, yeah, so out of the three, in my opinion, this is the best one. The only drawback with it is that you do have to use it in very small pits at a time. And you know, it does start drying quite quickly. I'm not sure how it takes to paint. I haven't tried paint yet on it, obviously, but I mean, I'd assume it would take it fairly well. I mean, it doesn't feel much different than anything else I've painted on. So this one, I'd give about, we'll say about a 7 out of 10 for this little dabble. Maybe more like a 6.5, simply because it does dry quickly, so you have a very limited time, so you have to work in very small pieces. And then these two are like maybe a 2 out of 10. That was my experiment. I again had to be careful because of my wrist, so I really couldn't get too involved, but I really don't think that's the reason. So that was my air dry clay experience. It wasn't super enjoyable. And I don't have anything else really to say at this point. So bye. Lame send off. My apologies. I brain dead.